Okay. The channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Shopping and
Woo!
flagons.
Woohoo! Shopping.
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Starla Hutchton as Carolina Swift,
Hello, friends.
Jenny Meltzer as Zaylene,
Hello.
Mark Kilfoyle as Vertigo, or Nedry, or what?
It all
Who is
works.
he? Yeah. And Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn will be joining us later. Uh, Scheduling is a DC 30 task these days. So, but we're making the best of
Wisdom
it.
saving throw.
Yes. So when
versus schedule.
last we left our heroes, the Pocket Protectors, they were about to embark on one of the most important adventures of the entire campaign, magic item shopping. Uh, so, in particular, having now collected 4 of the various pieces of this strange machine that you've been told to assemble, you were looking for where you might find the next, and you were approached by a strange individual with sort of an alien-like head, sort of blue-green skin, no hair, glowing eyes, and no nose or mouth at all, dressed in sort of fancy robes. And you discovered that he is what's known as a Yugoloth, which is a fiend, but not, a fiend that is not a devil nor a demon, kind of in between, who basically has a proposal that he knows where another one of these components may be found, and he will lead you there so long as he is also able to claim another different artifact that is in the same place. And he offered to let you, to just tell you where that was and have you sign a contract to ensure that you do, in fact, return the artifact he wants. Or that he could just come with you if you don't want to sign a contract with a fiend, which he was very reasonable about, understanding that you might have some reservations there. And in any case, you have decided to take him up on this offer, at least for now, which will take you to the elemental plane of ooze, which exists in the border between the elemental planes of earth and water. But first, shopping. You've been given the location and contact of a store that is, Sticky Zicky's Adventuring Emporium is great if you're looking for like a +1 weapon or, like a cloak of protection or something like that. But, if you're looking for the powerful stuff as level 18 adventurers you are and looking to get into the planes saving business, sometimes you need, the high end stuff. And for that, you go to a different place. And in fact, as far as you can tell, it doesn't even really look like a shop front. You feel like you are ascending into what looks like it must be a very fancy apartment building. But instead of and it's one of those apartment buildings that's so fancy that like there aren't any little like nameplates to say like who lives there or what it is. But you've been given the location, and when you knock on the door, there is just a little bit of a glimmering light appears on the door, in about where like a peephole might be, but there's clearly something magical happening there. And the light just sort of appears after you knock and just is hovering there on the door.
The friend of the Emperor sent us.
The light glows green for a moment and then winks out, and the door opens, and you see a gorgeously dressed half orc woman, just in a very, just like, she looks like she is just about to step out to go to a fancy ball. Like she's in an elegant gown, all made up, hair up and everything. It's 2 p.m. And she says, "Welcome. I am Genthra. You have come seeking arcana of the highest quality, I assume."
You assume correctly. And I wore the wrong character for this meeting.
Well, then, please come in. Come in. So, we don't have Paul here, but I'm assuming that Zinhorn did come, and he is just sort of in the background here. He did not go elsewhere, so we will have to work around that as you get into the shopping. But she escorts you to a pleasant little sitting room that has both a, like, it's slightly fancier, slightly taller than a normal like coffee table would be. It's clearly for displaying things for people who are sitting in this nice little sitting area, right? Oh, and look, there's Paul. Welcome. Perfect timing. If I can, there we go. Get everyone back in the right places. Hello, Paul. Welcome.
Hello.
We were just getting the pocket protectors situated in this very fancy magic item selling place. It basically resembles an extremely high-end luxury apartment, but you are clearly in the right place, and you have an elegantly made-up half-orc woman named Genthra who is about to assist you here in your shopping endeavor.
Excellent.
And so she escorts you all to this little sitting area where, like I said, there's a slightly taller than usual coffee table that's, obviously for displaying things. And there's also like a big open area in the room that looks like it would be for like if someone were going to like model some armor or do some other kind of demonstration, for example. And she, brings you all in and just says, "Would you care for some refreshment?" That was not her voice. "Would you care for some refreshment?"
That would be lovely. Thank you very much.
Refreshments would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Several platters come in carried by invisible, unseen, servants, setting out. There are glasses of both, very like crystal glasses full of water, but then there are also flutes of champagne, and there's a lot of just sort of like finger food, hors d'oeuvre sorts of things. I mean, at this point, I think, given the slight commotion of sound you heard when the doors opened and these servants came in, for all you know, there is literally a fancy ball happening just in the next room. Like, it seems like they just had these ready, and it's the sort of thing that you might find, like, waiters carrying around at a fancy ball.
I do hope we're not interrupting anything.
Oh, no, this is my first priority whenever it can be arranged. I have a passion, you see, for curios and artifacts of the arcane variety, and helping them find individuals who will make the most of them is my absolute favorite thing to do.
I
So,
think we've come to the right place.
what are you looking for today?
Well, pull out a book. We'll set it there on the mage hand to hold it out.
We're likely to travel somewhere rather soggy, so I was researching a little bit some of the past notes of some of my colleagues, and there were a few things. Looking at my list, I'm not really sure if they're up to your standards. This place seems a lot fancier than I was expecting, actually. But mostly some relatively simple things, some dusts and some oils and potion. Maybe I should start with the rings because this place seems more like a ring place.
We have a great many and great variety of different types of items, but we do specialize and focus on the higher end goods. If you are looking for spell components and the like, I think that you will find those better suited in other establishments. But if you are looking for a powerful weapon or an implement of great value, we have many to choose from. We also have a wide selection of spell libraries if you wish to transcribe something into your own spell book.
What a mixed feeling I find that the words spell and library put together make. That's not you. Sure, I would definitely like to research a few, but in the beginning, a couple of rings, if you have them, of resistance in particular. I don't know much about the area we're going to, but I suspect two of the hazards were like. Sorry, this is new for me. We're actually planning ahead, and it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I'm usually having to plan in the middle of things already going badly. Um, but I have spells which can resist things like poison and acid, but it's not always possible to get those spells off in time. If you have any items of armor or rings that might provide such resistance or even imperviousness, it would probably help us considerably.
I, I'm trying to think. I'm looking at the list of items that we have here. She says, I don't think we have anything quite of that specific persuasion here at the moment. However, I do have a great many connections across the city and could potentially track down such a ring if you were to be so interested.
I mean, I'm sure the others have more exotic needs in mind. How long would looking for such a thing take?
Well, I would require that you give me at least a couple of hours, and I could contact you to arrange a viewing once I have been able to track such a thing down. But of course, under those circumstances, there are potentially different parties involved. It's a bit more complicated, as you may imagine.
Hours is much better than days or weeks, was what I feared.
Ah, yes, of course.
I'm afraid I don't have the means to pay for these things myself, so I'm not sure if that raises the cost beyond our stipend.
You did say you were friends of the friend of the Emperor.
Yes.
I am assuming that there is a line of credit that your purchases will be drawing from. I'm not a cash business.
Oh, yes, I believe so. Lynn?
However, I do certainly exchange in trade.
Well, our direct benefactor, or benefactor, is that the right word?
Sure.
Patron?
Yeah, patron, that's the word I'm looking for. Yes. Um, uh, Lord Yobert Relents. But we were
The black
instructed
sheep
to-
of his family. I am excited to see his progress in striking it out on his own. It was, after all, a rather scandalous parting, but certainly his name and the friend of the Emperor's are sufficient. I have trust that everything will be arranged as required.
absolutely.
So I could show you a number of the items that we have in place, or you could, if you don't have any other specific requests.
I'd
mean,
be curious to see what sort of stock that you have on offer.
Well, we generally categorize our items in four categories. There might be arcana, as in items that are principally magic specific, but generally are tools. We have armaments, if you are looking for weapons or armor. Implements, which tend to be tools that might be used for other things that have power themselves. And of course, relics, which are more ancient items that could be any of the above, but are recovered items rather than simply a crafted, enchanted tool, if you follow.
Do you have any weird, like, I don't know, old lich eye hand combos lying around?
Alas, I do not. However, I do have along some of those lines. I'm afraid if you're looking for the items of the evil variety, I tend to not have many of those in stock. They turn over quickly, you see. I don't keep them in stock. But I do, as a matter of fact, have a legendary item. And she gestures to the door, and a platter comes through, and it is got just a gorgeous, just like glowing, vibrant gold necklace with a big shining amulet on it. And just even looking at it right away, it is just striking in its beauty. It just feels pure. And she says, "This is the legendary talisman of pure good." It is, and it, let's see, where's my, oh, I had all of the, oh no, I closed the tab that I had them all just ready in. One
no.
moment. Yes. I do know all about it. I have this stuff memorized. Just give me a moment for,
Seem to have traveled into the wrong room of my memory palace. Pardon me as I
Yes.
retrace my steps.
there we go. All right. So, yes, the talisman of pure good. What it does is it can act as a holy symbol for clerics, paladins, of those of that persuasion, and it can give you an extra oomph to your spells. It is a +2 bonus to attack rolls, spell attack rolls when you have it, and it also has 6 charges remaining of an ability known as Pure Rebuke. Basically, you can choose to expend one of these charges and choose a target. And if they are not able to avoid the effect of the spell, they are sucked into a fiery fissure in the ground, never to be heard from again.
Oh,
To be clear, it has 6 charges and they do not regenerate.
but the rest of the magical abilities, they're permanent though.
They are, so long as you do not expel the final charge. Once
Oh,
the
okay.
final
So
charge is expended, the talisman will return to the golden light and energy that created it.
hmm, interesting.
This is, of course, a legendary item. It is quite valuable. But as you were asking about the sorts of high arcane good and evil type sorts of magic, we also have what is known as a candle of invocation. This is a ritual candle that if you light it while you are within the light it sheds, you are given a sort of foresight that gives you extra ability to resist and attack. You have advantage on all d20 checks while you're standing in the light that it casts. But as of course, as with the talisman, it is a candle that this one is fresh. It should last for 4 hours, but it cannot regenerate. So once it has been used for 4 hours, it will be expended.
Is that only usable by the person who lights the candle, or does everyone
Uh,
within the light make
you,
benefits?
in order to benefit from it, you must be attuned to the candle.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah, and so it is, yeah, so you have to be attuned. And it says there is also, as an option, if this were to be necessary, it can be used as a single use item to cast the gate spell, but this spell can only be used to travel to the realm that it is aligned with, which is the upper plane of Bitopia. I suspect that most would prefer to use it for its more standard use, but that is another option that it presents. And because this one has not yet been used, it does still have that option available to you. You mentioned you are potentially going to a swamp.
in a plainer sense.
Well,
The plane of ooze, if we're going to be specific.
oh dear. Very sticky, I've heard. But we do have in stock right now a potion of flying. I'm sure adventurers of your stature may have access to magic which allows flight. However, a potion of flying cannot you cannot lose concentration on it. It lasts for an hour, and even if you are struck in the air, you do not have to fear that you will lose concentration and fall out of the sky. We also have a rather unique item. I don't know if any of you enjoy mounted combat or even just mounted travel, but we have what's known as the horseshoes of a zephyr. And, Platter brings out these horseshoes is like, it does not necessarily need to be applied to a horse, but if they are given and worn by a four-legged creature that can carry a mounted rider, that that animal will then be able to hover above the ground. They are not able to fly, but they do not need to touch the ground. I thought that would get more of a reaction, but I guess not. Let's see. What else have we got?
Do they have to have hooves?
No, no. They are absorbed into the creature, such as it is, when they are applied, and so strictly speaking, they do not need to be a hoofed creature.
I mean, I don't think I've ever imagined Buster with a saddle, but never.
We had considered him getting a saddle.
I'm sure he'd take a while to get used to it, mind you.
I'm confident I could train him to accept it. It might be a very rough ride, though.
So, other items that I have available, and you can just let me know if any of these sound interesting or strike your fancy. We have a Staff of Power, which is useful for spellcasters of the arcane variety, and it can cast many spells of its own. We have a Robe of Scintillating Colors, which can give off light and also dazzle your enemies. We have a Wand of Polymorph, does what it says on the tin. There is a Ring of Spell Turning, which is a legendary item. It gives you a enormous degree of magical resistance to all manner of different spells.
That's a cool one.
If you are looking for weapons, we do have several on availability. We have a Quarterstaff of the Acrobat that can do many magical things. It can change in size, growing to more than 10 feet in length, or changing to a simple 6 foot or a 6-inch rod that you can put in a pack. But it also is a very powerful quarterstaff, and it gives you advantage on any acrobatics rolls that you might make.
Oh, nice.
We have a glaive that is, where is this one? A glaive known as the Frostbrand, which has, see, this is the problem when I'm just like running, like running through them. There we go. Hang on. The Frostbrand gives you resistance to fire damage. And when you hit an enemy with it, it does additional cold damage. It also allows you to extinguish any non-magical flames that are within 30 feet of you.
I do need a weapon, but I need a one-handed one or one that can be used one-handed.
Well, if you are looking for a one-handed weapon, we do have a sword known as the 9 Lives Stealer.
Ooh.
Yes, this is a long sword, and it is a +2 magical weapon. And it also has, let's see, it has 6 charges. No, this one currently has 4 charges. And what happens when you attack a creature with fewer than 100 hit points and roll a 20 on the d20? Critical, I'm just going to say we are in the meta and explaining things, how they will work, so that you know what if you want it. The creature, so if you basically get a crit on a creature that has less than 100 hit points, they must succeed on a DC Constitution saving throw or be slain instantly.
That sounds like it could be right up my alley.
This is a very rare piece, but we can have this on display. And Platter brings out this this sword, and I think I can here I can show the little image in the Roll20. Not that the people on the stream will see it, but it's a long sword. It's got cool little faces on it. It's a little bit of a scary looking sword. Got a little bit of a bad guy vibe.
And is this the 1 of 1 or 1 of 4 type?
What do you mean?
You said we could get one.
Oh, yes. Okay. You have credit enough for 4 very rare, so it is one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I don't know if any of you have need of powerful armor, but we do have a legendary set of plate armor, the plate armor of etherealness, which, while it functions as effective plate armor in all normal capacities, it can also give you the ability to phase out of whatever physical state you find yourself in, allowing you to pass through solid matter in the ethereal plane. And then you can, end that effect at any time. So it could be very handy if you were to end up stuck somewhere. It would allow you to pass through walls and travel anywhere you like within the ethereal plane. Of course, you are not immune to damage, but still protected in the ordinary way. And of course, anything on the material plane cannot hurt you while you are ethereal.
Do you have any tomes that would make you, I don't know, maybe smarter or wiser or
We
anything
do,
like that?
in fact, have a tome of leadership and influence. It requires a great deal of study for the magic to have its effect on you, but it can increase your charisma beyond that of normal mortal creatures. So specifically, probably, I would think well, I don't know. I maybe Zalian or Warlock. This book, if you do all the studying necessary for it, which takes some time, could give you +2 to your charisma, which would allow you to go above 20.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking for the wisdom one, but
Yeah,
that's okay. Yep.
she has the charisma one.
Study, you say?
Hmm.
That sounds exciting.
Well, we do have the spell library as well. That is the only other book that we have.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, that tome in particular,
mhm.
as my friends in particular, Lynn might attest, I've never really understood much of the way music and story and art and all of that works. But I find the nature of the chaotic magic I'm studying is more along the lines of rhyming than it is of arithmetic. Something like that would be useful.
Well, she has that book brought out and set on the set on the table as well. Um, let's see. The what have we not mentioned yet? The we have another legendary item. The last of the legendary items I have currently in stock is perhaps a very situational item, but in that situation could be invaluable. It is what's known as the Talisman of the Sphere. If in your adventures you should ever encounter a sphere of annihilation, they can be controlled through sufficient arcane will, but they are very difficult to control in this way, especially if you are opposed by another spellcaster. However, if you have the talisman of the sphere, you will have a great advantage in your attempts to control the sphere of annihilation and could manipulate it in ways impossible to anyone without such a talisman. So, it may be that you do not anticipate encountering a sphere of annihilation, in which case you may not need this, but you never know. Maybe once you had a talisman of the sphere, you might seek out where you could find such a sphere. The remaining items that I have not mentioned so far, we have a Staff of Fire, which is also a spellcaster's staff that gives you access to several fire-related spells. Where is that one? Just that one. It also gives you resistance to fire damage, and lets you cast fire-related spells. There is also a rather striking item known as the Rod of Alertness. Where is that one? There it is. The Rod of Alertness gives you a great advantage on your any perception checks and initiative rolls. It also allows you to cast many of the lower level examination spells, such as Detect Evil and Good, Detect Magic, See Invisibility. It allows you to cast those spells at will. And likewise, it gives you a protective aura. If you use your action and stick it in the ground, it will shed bright light in a 60-foot radius. And while in that bright light, you and all of your allies will have a bonus to your armor class and can sense the location of any invisible creature within that light. So, are there any of these that
Who can use that last staff?
anyone who can attune it?
Okay.
That one is not limited to any particular class.
Hmm.
But it is not like a weapon rod. It's like a scepter. It's wouldn't hit people with it.
Hmm. I am very interested in the sword.
Very well.
Um, Anyone else interested in that one?
Not the sword. The tome is
Okay.
interesting, but not the sword.
And that was the long sword of 9 lives stealing.
Well, it's 9 Lives Stealer is the name of the item, yeah.
Okay.
And then the book is Tome of Leadership and Influence.
And what does that do
That's
for me?
the tome. What, the 9 Lives Stealer or the tome? The tome.
The tome.
The tome was something I think Vertigo was looking at. The
Oh,
tome,
okay.
yeah, the tome is if you study it, you have to spend like 48 hours of study on it within a 6-day period. So like you really have to work at it. But if you do that, it increases your charisma by 2 permanently, and it can go above 20 is one of the key things there. But I think for Vertigo, it's primarily just like, hey, +2 charisma. You know,
Well,
good
in
for all
fact,
your
that's why
sorcerer things.
yeah, it's in fact what I spent my that's what I spent the last level on too. So
Great. So just to reiterate, the Staff of Power, also for anyone who is primarily a spellcaster, could be quite useful. The Robe of Scintillating Colors, the Wand of Polymorph, Ring of Spell Turning, Quarterstaff of the Acrobat, Frostbrand Glaive, Plate Armor of Etherealness, Potion of Flying, Horseshoes of a Zephyr, the Tome, the Talisman of the Sphere, the Candle of Invocation, Staff of Fire, Rod of Alertness, Talisman of Pure Good. And of course, if there are other things such as resistance to poison or acid, those variety, other items, if you may be interested in, I may explore whether or not I can find such a thing within my plentiful connections. But these are the items that I have here today that you could leave with right now, if you so desire.
A browse through your spell book collection too would be
Sure.
handy.
So, as we kind of discussed, I know there were 3 that you were specifically looking for. So, what I'm going to have you do is like, tell me each of them, and then I'll have you roll, and to see whether it's there or not.
okay.
Okay.
First one is protection from energy.
Okay. Just roll a d20, and if it's if it's an 11 or higher, it's there.
15.
Aha. Yes. So they have that one.
Excellent. Gate seal.
Gate seal. Okay. Yeah. I mean, go ahead and roll again for that one.
18.
Ah, yeah. There you go.
And the last one is transmute rock.
Transmute rock. Yep. So same deal. Wow, look at
15.
that.
Hmm.
Lucky you. They have all 3 of those spells available today, in addition to a variety of others.
Okay, your collection is most impressive.
Uh-huh.
We
Seeing so
also
many
have
spells that
we have a specialized apparatus that allows you to reduce the total number of hours required to copy any particular spell into your spell book.
oh, that would be a marvel.
That remains here.
Of
That is
course.
my item is not for sale, but you may use it if you are to purchase any spells.
I would be most grateful.
I will say that the cost of a spell to transcribe it in that way, let's say, very rare, like as in like a one very rare item is worth 10 levels of spell. Meaning, if it would be like 2 level 5s or one, or like a level 8 and a level 2, etc.
Okay.
And that would be for like the equivalent of a very rare item.
All right, I have to duck out in 4
Okay.
minutes.
All right. So, but you were interested in this sword.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to take the sword and ask about an ion stone of insight.
Okay. All right. So I will we'll have to roll to see if they can track that down.
Okay. What should I roll?
Um, I think you just roll a d20, but we need 15 or higher.
That would be a 12.
Okay, yeah. So I think she doesn't know, like, won't be able to get a hold of one in the time frame that you need.
Right. Okay. Um, I may have to come back to get the other 3 things.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. All right. So are you would you wanted something else right now, or you were about to sign
Um,
off?
no, I'm gonna sign up.
Okay. Okay. I was
Yeah.
yeah. I was just felt like I wasn't sure what you were doing, and I didn't know
I,
if I was waiting on you or not. Okay.
I'm not worried. I'm not sure what I'm doing either. So,
Okay.
let me uh sign off
Okay.
and I'll be back.
All right. So, um, well, okay. I have to wait for it to drop off the call for me to change the layout. But okay, so everyone else also remember, like, if you wanted something else, we can look for it in the same way, or if you wanted to trade in any of the items that you've got in order to afford something more. Of the items we mentioned, the ones that are more expensive because they're legendary are the Talisman of Pure Good, the Talisman of the Sphere, the Plate Armor of Etherealness, and the Ring of Spell Turning.
Could I see if she could track down a tome of understanding?
A Tome of Understanding. Okay. Yeah. Let's do the same roll. Just a d20 and see if we get 15 or higher.
No.
Alas, she says, we do have one in storage, but you see, once they are used, they lose their magic for a century, and this one has not yet recharged, I'm afraid. The Ring of Spell Turning, I think, may be more interesting than you guys had sort of
Yeah, I was
picked
actually
up
thinking
on.
about that.
Because what that does is basically, if you're wearing it and attuned to it, you have advantage on saving throws against spells. And if it's a spell of level 7 or lower and you succeed on the save, the spell has no effect. So, like, you wouldn't take half damage or anything. And if it targeted only you and didn't create an area of effect, you can use your reaction to deflect the spell back at the caster. But see,
I think
that's
I
the thing is,
will.
you guys have so many items already.
It's the attunement thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
I think I will do. I will do the Talisman of Pure Good.
Okay, that is a legendary one, and so that
Yep.
one, you guys are gonna have to, if you want some of the other items as well, like the tome and the 9 life stealer, then you're gonna need to come up with something to trade.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Talisman of Pure Good is, it's basically like, imagine that's 4, which would be your total amount of credit, and then so you've got to come up with 2 very rares somewhere. So you could trade in something, or
I'm looking to see what I have.
Also, don't forget to check the
The sheet.
spreadsheet. Yeah. Yeah, I personally, I'm good. I don't. Nothing jumped out at me, so I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm set.
I do have. I'm looking to see what it is. It's an uncommon. I have an uncommon mace,
well,
Lightbringer.
okay. I mean, uncommon is like a tenth of a very rare.
Right, but I'm looking through. I have a few different things
Sure. Okay.
that I'm thinking.
All right.
I see a ring of force resistance. Hmm.
What level is that?
Would be rare, most likely.
Does not
Mm.
say on the spreadsheet.
Most of the, if it's a ring of resistance force, then it would be a rare like the others.
Does Zinhorn still have the gloves of missile snaring?
Mm.
Hang on. I can pull up his sheet. This is the really exciting part for everyone watching, I'm sure. But you know, it's an important part of any campaign is picking out your magic items. So it is necessary. And primarily, we're playing this for us anyway. So you know.
They're just
On
gonna have to wait.
Zaleen, I see a figure of wondrous power, a silver raven,
Yep,
and
I do have that.
staff of the adder.
I don't have that anymore. I sold that.
Okay.
Don't think I have the ring of force resistance anymore. I think that's long gone. I think I gave that to someone else.
I also don't have the cloak of billowing because I gave it to
Evan, probably.
Evan. Yes, I did give it to Evan.
Mm,
I have the rope of climbing.
yeah.
Teleporter of traveling?
What was that?
A teleporter of traveling. It's a single
I-
person teleport to somewhere you've been before.
I do not have that. That was never mine.
Yeah, it says new/unsorted, so who
Um,
knows?
I have a force nodule. I have Lightbringer. I have a rope of climbing.
I mean, I have the temporal viewer, but it's not active because we don't have any more. What are they called?
Yeah, those stone thingies.
mm.
The
Well, I mean,
dream
we
stones.
did collect a few of those along
Yeah.
the way that we never did anything with. So theoretically, could charge that.
Hmm.
I only have the uncharged balls that we used once because
He's-
we never charged any,
Yeah.
and actually no, I might have a couple of nodules of shadow actually.
The things that Zinhorn has, he's mostly
Oh, I do.
using, like the belt of Cloud Giant Strength. He has a dagger of blind sight that I think he likes having the blind sight, but never uses the dagger otherwise. And he has his fancy armor, the molten bronze armor.
Mm. You said I would need what 10 items?
Well, I kind of said that hastily. Let me it might be more like you know what? Let's just for the sake of argument, let's say 4. So
Okay, because
so
I have like
4.
5.
Well, so 4. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. 4.
I have
Let's do it in tiers of 4. So like very rare. It would need to be 4 rare items, and a rare item would need to be 4 uncommon items. So I guess that's actually, you know what, 10 would be less. So if you're going from uncommon to rare, very rare, then yeah.
Well, I mean, if I'm only going to get the stone or like the talisman,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't need anything else, right? Because we could get one ore, right?
Well, I think there's all of us together can get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, you don't
It's a
all
limited
get
tab.
4 very
Okay.
rare. It is for the party gets. Yeah.
So one person could get a legendary,
Yeah.
and then the
That'd be
rest it would be very rares.
Right. And
Okay.
so like and you could get more if only you are willing to trade in some of the stuff that you've got now or maybe haven't been using, or be willing to part with in exchange for something cooler.
Who's got the crown?
The crown.
The deep jade circlet.
But somebody stole it. Your friend
Yeah.
Percival Cankers stole it.
Right.
You should talk to him right now and find out where it is.
Wait, isn't that something that, no, maybe not. I thought that got used when we punched the hole into the shield. Oh, we should probably go back and get that stuff.
It is just still sitting
true.
there
We
in
just
the
left it
ocean.
out in the middle of the
Not
ocean.
really doing anything anymore. Yeah.
Mhm.
The diamond of infinite facets and
Yeah.
a immovable rod just floating out in the
Two
ocean.
immovable rods.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're terrible
You could
adventurers.
probably use that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, everything we went through to get that diamond of infinite facets,
Just
Mhm.
leave it somewhere.
just
Oh,
leave it
Lord,
laying
I couldn't
around in
even,
the
I don't
ocean.
even want to think about who
I
picked it up.
think so. I think you guys. I'm just trying to think if there's. You guys have that deep jade circlet. If we didn't make it clear that you did, because Percival was wearing it.
Oh, he
So he
was.
took it
Yeah.
off of him when he died.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know we talked about looting his dead body when he
Mhm.
was dead, but I don't think we ever talked about
Yeah.
like what we
So
took
it
off
was
of him.
specifically the amulet that you were focused on because that's what you needed, right?
Hmm.
But that. But yeah, he was wearing that deep jade circlet, so you would also have that unless you just buried him with it or something.
Well,
I have a feeling
wasn't his
that
body
Nedrigo.
consumed?
You know what? I'm just gonna say you have it.
I think that out of everybody, like
It
Nedry
is
was
still
around.
cursed, though. You know that. I
Well,
mean, it's
Nedry
not.
wouldn't
Yeah.
go near it because you
Yeah.
guys don't trust him when he has it, so he wouldn't go
That's
near it.
true.
Yeah, and you have a password on your backpack, so probably would have put it in there if anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So see, like that's the downside. You definitely have it, and I think that Genthro definitely would be interested in it. But it's a question of whether you want to let it out of your sight.
Ooh, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, it's just
Nope.
sitting around being cursed in my backpack.
It is too dangerous for anybody to wear.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it
yes.
really?
Yes, it is. Yes.
You're too good for your own good.
That is the point of my character.
I know. I know.
It should be used, though.
It should. You know, I think I'm gonna just be okay with myself how I am. I'm good. Because I don't like everything I have is like just uncommon
Okay.
that I'm willing to part with. Um,
Oh, okay. It is still listed in my inventory of ring of force resistance. Given that it's not. Oh no, it requires attunement. Okay, never mind. I didn't think they did. Maybe the new ones don't require attunement.
Oh yeah. I think. I know that there is it like I don't remember which way it
Ah,
goes.
yeah.
The new ones either do or don't.
The new
But
ones
it's-
don't require attunement, but the old ones did.
Yeah.
Which is why I couldn't wear it.
Well, I'd be willing to trade a ring of force resistance for a ring of acid or poison resistance, at least.
I think that's a trade that can be sort of arranged straight up.
So I do kind of want at least one of those spells.
Mm-hmm.
how much are the spells?
I think it was
So I was going to basically say
10
like
levels
one
per
very
barbarian.
rare item would be like 10 spell
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
Well, I think like if
I mean, we can talk about deals here because, I don't want you guys to come away from this shopping trip feeling like, well, I didn't get anything because I.
yeah, but I'm gonna say too, like last week when we talked about it, I really was like undecided and I didn't really have anything that I felt like I needed.
Hmm.
And like the only thing that I would really want would have been like the book that I mentioned,
Mhm.
and like I'm good. I'm happy with the stuff that I have, but like if you know Nedry or Zinhorn needs more to get what they need, then I'm willing to like trade in stuff so to help them if needed.
You know?
Most of what I wrote down were uncommons anyway, so it was that kind of
Yeah.
thought low, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't need anything. I'm good. So whatever you guys want to trade in,
All right.
I will not be deducting from that.
Yeah, but I mean, if like you and I aren't getting anything, then I think they
Well,
should be
like
fine.
if you don't get the Talisman of Pure Good, then you're only at 2 very rare items that you've even picked out so far. And I guess Nedry could get
Well,
some spells.
wasn't the um
Or the 9 lives sword. I think
That
was
was
also.
one. That was not
Was that?
legendary. That was
Oh, this
just
was
oh,
rare.
it
that
was
one was just
okay,
very
yeah.
rare. Yeah.
What were the other very rares that were there?
So, just to read all of the very rares, Staff of
Sorry.
Power. That's no, this is fine. Staff of Power, which gives you +2 to AC and lets you cast spells with charges. Robe of Scintillating Colors, which lets you like dazzle enemies, makes it harder to hit you. Wand of Polymorph, Quarterstaff of the Acrobat, Frostband Glaive, 9 life stealer, Potion of Flying, Horseshoes of a Zephyr, Tome of Leadership and Influence, Candle of Invocation, Staff of Fire, Rod of Alertness.
Rod of Alertness was one that caught my attention.
Mhm.
And the Staff of Fire, I looked at it and ugh. Let me look at the Rod of Alertness again.
Yeah. That one I think does look pretty cool.
Something that I could potentially offer. I have some songs that are.
Hmm?
The location that I stumbled upon them is not a place that, well, if people go there, they don't generally come back from. And that's usually by choice.
Hmm?
But I don't know if these things would be of any interest.
Absolutely. I think they would. Specialized songs. Are they magical or just
They are
enjoyable?
magical in nature.
Ah, very much so. Then I'm always looking to add to my library, so to speak. And although wizards enjoy transcribing their spells, I do have bard clients as well. And so, yes, I think I would ask you to perform the song in a place where I can magically record it.
Well, I have 3. Um, and I would, go on to describe what those 3 were. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Mothalost Lullaby,
Mm-hmm.
the Agni Pariksha, and the Dance Your Heart Out.
Okay.
Um,
Go ahead and make a persuasion check to see how much she might like offer in that case.
Persuasion.
I know you're pretty good at those.
Yeah.
It's certainly the relevant 27.
That's a
You know,
27.
I think she says I have been looking to get into the music business. Actually, this would be fantastic. I would give you the equivalent of a legendary credit for all 3 songs.
I'll kind of glance at Zaylee and is like, "You really want that thing?" Wasn't there the thing that you wanted that was a legendary?
Mm-hmm.
The stone, like the
Talisman
talisman
of
of
Pure
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I think we have ourselves a deal then.
Aha. All right. So what that would mean then is that with that trade-in, that you can get the talisman, the tome of leadership and influence, and the 9 lives stealer, and still have like 2 very rare left that could potentially be spell slots for Nedry or something else. I kind of thought I'll be more interested in the horseshoes of a Zephyr, just given where you're going. But I mean, obviously that's all up to you.
I mean, can we wear them ourselves?
No, it does have to be on a 4-legged mount, but otherwise. But I was just assuming you're going to a swamp, and you could have Buster become magical hover boy.
He'd be like, just the flying thing
The dog from the Neverending Story?
the last
Oh.
Airbender.
Apu?
Oh,
No,
No.
because he doesn't fly. Like he wouldn't fly. It's that it's that he can just
Abba.
like Appa is who you're talking about. But what this would do is it basically gives you he can just like hover 6 inches above the surface. So like even if it was like quicksand, right? Like he could just run over the top of it.
Hmm.
But you know, up to you. It's your hard-earned fake money. All right, so, you know, so right now it sounds like you've got the Talisman of Pure Good with 6 charges, the Tome of Leadership and Influence, the 9 Lives Stealer, and then you could potentially have, you know, 2 more items or the fungible amount of spell slots, spells from the spell library.
Yeah, the way it works out, it's any 2 of those 3 spells for one very rare.
Well, and so you have 2 potentially available.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm?
And then the ring of resistance of one kind or another in exchange
Yeah.
for the ring of force resistance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which one did you want?
Acid.
Okay. All right.
There was something that Paul mentioned about the Ion Stone of Insight. That he
Well,
was
but she didn't know where she could get one.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was that or
You
something
didn't roll
else.
high enough for that one.
Oh, okay. Cross it off then.
Mhm.
And then for the uncommon stuff, I suppose we can check sticky stickies.
Yeah.
Still consuming on that level of professionalism, I think, at this point.
I mean, honestly, if we're just talking about like buying the individual spell components, I think we can hand wave that. We
No,
don't need to do a whole scene for it.
they're magic items, but
Yeah.
they're one-use magic items.
Okay.
I can tell you, or we can leave
Well,
it.
yeah,
whatever.
I'm just saying we don't have to do a whole scene just
No.
to buy a few like smaller things. That
I gotta go get a bunch of them clubs so I can hand them out.
I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you the 3 things. It was
Mhm.
dust of dryness,
Okay.
oil of slipperiness, and a potion of resistance of either acid or poison.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just
I was
see.
gonna see if we could get what was it, the scroll of the Titan.
the Titan.
It's a legendary item, and I was looking at it. You could summon a Tarask. You could summon the Blob of Annihilation. I was like, why would you ever summon any of those things?
Roll a d20 if you get a 20.
I mean, in this game, we've dealt with titans of a different scale.
Yeah.
Those all sound kind of small compared to the titans we've dealt with.
Yeah. The Blob of Annihilation is pretty wicked, though.
I haven't looked at that.
You guys
one yet.
don't know what that is. I mean, you know,
No.
in the meta, it's one thing, but I'm just
Right,
saying it's not
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not like a known creature in the world. Is my point.
8. No.
Hmm.
No, I was just looking at it though, and I was like, that'd be really cool if we could summon a Titan, and it was like the Titan that we helped, you know, and it came back and helped us. And I was
Yeah.
It just makes everybody feel sad.
yeah,
The titan of despair.
Mm-hmm.
the Titan of Sad.
Okay. So are we decided? I mean, it seems like we still don't know what we're doing with those 2 remaining sort of very rare
I thought,
slots.
aren't you doing spell slots?
So
You're doing
from
your
the
spells?
they add up to 12. So it would either be all 3 of those spells, or I can take 2 of those spells, and we'd have a very rare we can still choose.
Well, and for that matter, if you get if there's extras, like there's other spells, right? Like, you know, if you got all 3 with those 2 slots, then you'd still have
Another level 3 spell
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see one. It would take me a moment to look through. I can always choose one, but but is there nothing that Lynn wants? Because Lynn gave up a lot to kind of make this happen. You sure?
Oh, good.
I mean, so
Because I'm cute.
as players, tell me if you want more opportunity to go after like lower level spell, items that aren't going to be such a big deal. You guys are level 18. This is sort of the tier you're operating on.
No, I'm
Okay.
like legit. I'm good.
All
So
right.
I mean, I've literally got 3 legendary items, so
I
it's
mean,
hard
I
to.
think you only really went shopping because Zinhorn wanted a new magic weapon. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big part.
okay. Well, you got some good stuff for sure. So you decided to get all 3 of those spells, Nedry, and you have a little bit left over.
Yeah, I'll look at another level 3 or spell or something.
Okay. Well, let's see. What wizard spells?
You said that it's missing like one of the initial charges, right?
Yeah, it has 6.
Okay. Okay.
See, I don't remember what you have or don't have in your spell book already. So
Yeah, I'm trying to remember myself. And it's only up to level 5 spells, so
okay.
I have higher slots, but no ability to access them yet.
Mm.
Or, well, I can upcast, but I can't.
Is that for your sorcerer spells, or I guess you're right
No,
because you're multi-classed. So
Yeah, he's only level 10 wizard, which only has access up to level 5 spells. Even though as multi-class you get higher level spell slots, it's a little bit messy. Shoot, I lost my tab now. All right.
all right. Well, if you want to say that you're going to pick out a spell, we can potentially come
Sure.
back to that. Like once you figure it out. I mean, unless you feel like you want to take more time.
No, I don't want to delay anything.
Okay. I'm just saying I'm giving you the opportunity if you want to look at it in leisure instead of being on the spot.
No, that's what I'll do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think you all make those arrangements. I think there's a plan to get the rings exchanged when needed. I think there is some time necessary for Vertigo to get the spells transcribed, and it wouldn't be the normal total amount of time, but I think it's still going to be several hours for all of those spells. I think we'll say that Zinhorn goes to visit his the Temple of Rashama here in Pashan for a little bit. What do Carolina and Zaylene get up to while you're waiting?
I actually would like
find a
to go.
bakery.
I would also like to look for someplace like a jeweler or somewhere where we could buy diamonds.
Okay.
Because that was another thing that Zenhorn wanted.
Sure.
So we'll go run and do the lighter shopping for the more mundane.
Yeah, there's certainly time to do that. So you have gold that you're exchanging for diamonds, or what are you doing?
I think I have. I don't have a lot, no.
Yeah. Because
I have like 226 gold right now. Yeah.
so the very rare and legendary items we were just talking about, those are the ones that are like on the order of like 50,000 gold and up for those. And so items lower than that, I would assume that you would do with gold or other items that you might be trading in. But we don't have to do a whole scene, but do let me know if you're buying stuff in exchange for gold.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to hand wave that you now have 10 500 gold diamonds.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many he wanted. He needed 500 gold diamonds.
Was that
I'm looking to
for gate?
see. I don't know.
because
He keeps wanting to use that gate spell, so I wouldn't.
Which
But
I don't understand.
I think he
what
was
it
wanting
is.
to use it because it sounds like an easy travel spell, but it's really a little bit overkill for that. There's
Yeah.
better spells that are cheaper to do effectively the same thing.
I'm trying to look.
A gate needs a diamond worth 5,000 gold.
Oh, for crying out loud, he's on his own.
We should make sure that we've got some for like resurrection type stuff.
I that's well.
And
We may already have that because we just haven't had to use it. So
and remember, one of the items that he keeps is the one that can cast gate. I'm trying to remember the name of that thing. The Midnight Stone tablet can actually cast gate.
Yeah, that's you have that, right?
Yeah, without needing a diamond.
Right. So I don't.
But it's only once. So it's one of the once per day. So it's one of
But
those.
if he needs a 5,000 gold diamond to cast it,
He
he can only
already
cast it
has on
once per
his
life.
he already has on his inventory. I'm not sure where he got it, but according to this, he already has on his inventory 2 500 gold diamonds and 2 5,000 gold diamonds. I don't remember where he would have gotten them, but
I would ask him because I don't remember ever buying a 5,000 gold.
yeah, those two are that's a bit much. But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
500 I think came from like Sticky Zickies the last time
we
we were
bought
Mhm.
diamonds because he bought like a whole bunch of 500s, and at the
Mhm.
time he meant to give me some, but
Mhm.
I only needed 300s because my casting level was lower and I couldn't cast
Mhm.
higher level like resurrection.
Yeah, so I don't know why he said he needed diamonds because I think he's just like didn't look to see if he had diamonds or not because I don't know that he
Or
needs,
maybe he wrote them down because he
wanted
wanted to get
them.
them today.
Maybe, but I can we
Heroes Feast.
what do you
That
guys
was
want to do?
that was the other thing. I need a gem encrusted bowl worth 1,000
Okay.
gold pieces.
Well.
But I have to find stuff to sell because
Okay.
I only have like 288 gold.
All right. Well, I think that can be had if you can raise the cash.
Mm.
Mhm.
I have how many like okay, if I had 3 or 4 uncommon magic items, how much would that equal?
So let me, dear D&D Beyond, give me a consistent way to go straight to the book that I want. When you pull up the little sources and it has the featured sources and it's a different ones depending on what screen you're on, it makes it hard to go where I'm trying to go. Anyway, magic item costs. Um, Basically, uncommon ones are on the order of like average 400 gold.
Okay.
Rare ones would be
So
like average 4,000 gold.
oh, I don't think I have any rares.
Rares are
Oh,
blue.
I have
Blue ones.
Baldu's Shade Blade. Um,
He's not using it.
yeah, and I unequipped it because I needed my attunements,
Mm.
and I'm assuming that I'm never going to see Baldu again, and he would want me to be happy. So I will sell the Shade Blade
Okay.
and use it to get, if possible, 4 of those gem encrusted chalices.
Sure.
So we could do Heroes Feast for
All
that.
right. All right.
So I will remove. Goodbye, Baldu. Sorry about your death.
Not dead.
Yeah, it's more like cryogenic sleep
He's just taking a nap.
forever.
A permanent nap. Ugh. Okay. So that is gone. I have to remove it, but it's Anybody else is good. I'm just looking for
Okay.
these gem.
All right. Well, I was kind of looking for, I mean, you guys tell me what other business you want to get to, because you're going to be going to a place where it won't be so convenient.
I mean, he's going to want to study that book,
Hmm.
48 hours worth in the next 6 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you going to try to do that before you go to the elemental plane of ooze? Because I don't think that that was your client's expectation.
Yeah, unless he pulls a double all-nighter.
That's
I
certainly an
think
option.
that
Take the 2 levels of exhaustion and just push through it.
I think that we should finish what we're doing and before we go to bed, have a hero's feast and then go. That's what I think. Because, shopping makes you tired. We're going to need a nap.
I mean, if we're not going to use the tome, we might as well get something else. Not to open the can of worms again, but
Mhm. So I'm certainly willing to, like, you guys to some extent are on your own clock, just knowing that there's high stakes things happening. And I
mhm.
think I'm not saying that you cannot arrange to go ahead and spend several days doing the study, but you will have to answer to Arcturus, because he thought you were doing
Yeah,
a quick errand and then you would be ready. He's also assuming that you are taking seriously the world-ending threat that's currently ongoing.
didn't have any idea that tomes would be available, so it's
Oh,
kind of
sure. No, I know. This is the challenge, right? And so the thing is that if you want to just take several days, there's going to be consequences to that. If you want to just try to build in that time and that you're studying it whenever you can, and we figure out what that means, like whether you're staying up all night or whatever, like we can do any of that you want. You know, you can handle it. It's just like if you all just decide to take a week off, though, stuff's going to happen in that week.
yeah, yeah.
And we are taking the tower with us, right?
Of course.
Okay.
In theory, could we put the weird shoes on the tower
No.
and just
So it hovers
glide
above the
through?
ground. Every once in a while, it starts to gallop.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, if it grew legs, then you could be Baba Yaga.
Yes, I
Great.
could.
With chicken legs.
Feels like though it's a swamp, so it has to be Bubba Yaga.
I don't think Baba Yaga's into swamps. Like, she does swamps are her thing. That's like her favorite place, I would think.
It was a
Yeah,
pale attempt at a pun.
Oh, okay. There I get. Yeah, there. I get it. I gotcha.
she's like the Baldur's Gate 3 witch, the hag in the
Mm-hmm.
swamp
Yeah.
with the little, what were they? The little, like, were they, what the heck were those guys? They were like little gnome type guys, but they're
The
like
red
evil.
caps. Yeah.
Red caps, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like walking around, they're like, bah.
And there was the crones in Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They were pretty nasty too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, you guys tell me what you want here. I think we're just chatting at this point.
yeah.
I'm looking
I'm
for.
good to go. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through spell lists. That's why I'm kind
Okay.
of happy.
I'm
I
trying to
suppose
figure
I
out how
should-
to add this to my inventory.
I suppose I should ask if letting her record those songs means I lose them.
No,
Is that what?
No.
No? Okay.
not any more than a wizard transcribing, a scroll from spells in his spell book would. Welcome back,
That's
Paul.
what I thought, but I didn't want to assume.
Thank you.
So
So, you have the 9 lives stealer. I think that is the only item you ended up getting. The rest of them got some other stuff. You have on your current inventory list tons of diamonds already. I'm not sure why you thought you needed more. I'm not sure where you got some of the ones you say you have.
I have 4 diamonds on my inventory list.
It looks like what you wrote is that you have 2 500 gold diamonds and 2 5,000 gold diamonds, and I don't know where you would have gotten those.
On my sheet, I have 1,000 gold diamonds and 10,000 gold diamonds.
10,000.
That no, okay, so
That
like
can't
I
be.
I wasn't sure like what you were even trying to write. I was assuming that you were writing a like when I said 2 500 gold, I assumed what you wrote is that you had 2 and that the number was the total amount of diamonds what it was. But like I don't know where you got all of those, but also I don't know why having those you thought you needed to go buy more diamonds.
Uh, I don't remember when I got these, but um, uh,
I think you do not have 2 5,000 gold diamonds. You certainly don't have 2 10,000 gold diamonds.
okay.
If anything, like we bought 500 gold diamonds
Hmm.
because that's what we needed for like resurrections and
Yeah.
like come
Oh,
back to
okay.
life. So
Hmm.
maybe you added an extra 0.
Well, yeah, they are 500 gold diamond. You were right. They were 500 gold diamonds.
Okay. And so I think I don't know where the other one came from, but certainly I think you have I'm willing to accept that you already have at least 2 500 gold diamonds, and I don't think you
Okay.
need to.
I thought I needed more.
Okay, well then you know what did you? Okay,
Uh,
so we need to build some inertia here because we're kind of we've just been chatting for half an hour. Let's figure out what's happening.
Yes, I would like to go and do something.
Yes, let's. So what? Someone go do something, or else like literally monsters are going to attack you.
I
So
mean,
did
I'm ready to go to the swamp whenever. Like,
Hmm.
let's do it.
okay, can we just hand wave it? Say we took a long rest, we had a hero's feast before we went to bed.
Sure.
Which that means everybody will get stuff for when we get to the swamp. I gotta look, but we can just go to the swamp and I'll tell you what we get when we get there.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, because
Sure.
everybody's in a hurry.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm not trying to necessarily rush everyone, except for the fact that this is probably not the most thrilling for anyone at the moment. But so yes, we're hand waving, clock wipe. Nedry finished transcribing his spells. You bought whatever other miscellaneous items you needed. You got the Hero's Feast last night. You have got a long rest. You connected up with Arcarix again, and he led you to a strange sewer entrance where, upon saying a command word, he opened a portal and told you to jump in what looks like the world's most disgusting water slide.
Yeah.
okay, so everybody will have I don't know, 13 temporary hit points. Oh no, it's your hit point max increases by 13 for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You also have resistance to poison damage, immunity to the frightened and poison conditions.
Great.
The end.
All right. So, do you jump in the water slide?
Sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's get going. And you notice when he jumps in that he uses his brain. First of all, when you met up with him, he looked just like a human in his weird fancy robes. But once you were alone together in this little alley, his features changed back to the visage that you had met before. And as he jumps in, he travels along with you on this thing, but he is hovering and not coming into contact with all of the other stuff. So as you are traveling through this weird like sewer tunnel water slide, eventually you find yourself free falling in a humid, like misty, hot, fetid sort of environment, and then you are all going to make acrobatics checks as you attempt to land in some very deep mud.
Acrobatics, huh? Okay.
Yep. Could have bought the quarterstaff of the acrobat, just saying.
6.
All right.
And 6 for me. We all fail. This is going to
Wow.
be great.
Lynn got
I
a
rolled
natural
a
Yep.
one.
Yeah,
We
natural
all failed.
one. Oh my
Natural.
god.
Okay. So, first of all, I'm assuming Buster is still in the tower at the moment. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then all four of you land prone in the mud and are immediately restrained, stinking into the mud. And so all of you are now like up to your waists, and then kind of like tilted over to one side. And so I'm going to need athletics checks for each of you to even just pull yourself out.
No. No. It'll be something else. Because that's not going to work.
I got a
Um,
10.
Okay. I think a 10 is barely enough to kind of start pulling yourself out.
So, is there solid looking ground around somewhere?
You are in what seems like a sort of like a mangrove swamp. Like there are trees and everything. You see, actually, not too far away, there's a little bit of what looks like someone had made like a wooden pathway, like like a plank walk along part of it. But it's clearly very old, half rotten, and it's like sunk into the mud in a couple of places. But you can see that they're like there's ground theoretically. You're not literally just like in infinite mud at the moment necessarily, but you are currently sinking into mud that is deeper than you are tall.
Well, that's not hard. Very short.
Thunderstep into a
Okay.
solid or out to a solid place, hopefully.
All right.
As long as no one's nearby me.
Everyone is nearby you.
Oh, crap.
You all kind of
Okay.
splorched into the mud right next to each other.
I got a natural 20, so
All right,
on
yeah.
my athletics check.
Yeah,
So
able to pull yourself out, no problem.
I could grab Nedry and do Dimension Door.
I mean, that's certainly an option. Seems like maybe overkill.
I'll show
I
you what
mean-
the athletics roll looks like. 4.
Nedry is up to his chin in the mud. He is about to go under. Someone needs to do something.
I grab Nedry.
All right. Go ahead and make an athletics check on his behalf.
Natural 1. I got a 9.
Okay. I think as you go to pull Nedry out, something pulls him under. So, Nedry, something pulled you from below. You are currently blinded and cannot breathe. It happened suddenly, so I don't think you really had a chance to like get a good breath in. So you're currently suffocating, completely restrained within the mud. With something has grabbed you. The rest of you just saw him go under.
I grab a breath and I go right after him.
All right. So go ahead and make a perception check, trying to like find him, like get him.
27.
Okay. I think you are able to, by just face down, fishing around, you're able to sort of get a hold of him. You got your own face halfway down in there. You had to reach far enough in that you're kind of restrained now too. So if you just by yourself want to make the athletics check to get yourself and him out, you're going to be doing that at disadvantage.
Okay.
Don't you have that like girdle of strength or whatever the
Yeah,
heck it
I've
is?
got the giant strength.
Doesn't help when he rolls super low.
Nope. I got a 14.
I think a 14 is enough. So eventually, all of you manage to get yourself not currently sinking into deep mud. However, you are all now covered in mud. Two of you basically completely covered in mud. Um, and it doesn't smell great. It's I think a subjective smell, meaning it's a very sort of it's a swampy smell, right? Like there's a lot of sort of rot in it, but also just like there's life happening here. This is not like a poison swamp. It's just a mucky, muddy swamp, right? And so there is, vegetation around that's kind of like rotting, but also growing, and there's bugs around, and you hear the sounds of various swamp creatures, like little croaking of frogs and calls of birds here and there. This is, as I mentioned, it's kind of a mangrove swamp, so there's lots of there's trees around. It's like a forest, except that the trees are growing up out of water, and there are periodically, like you can see bits and pieces of like a boardwalk. And in the meantime, Arcturus is standing there, immaculate, hovering, apparently under his own power, above the mud, and just says, "Well, wasn't that exciting?"
A little
Times like this,
warning
I
probably would have been a good idea.
A warning.
times like this, I really
Where did
miss
you think we
Nero.
were going? I mean, I I I assumed that you are capable of adventurers, and you knew we were going to the elemental plane of ooze. Like, I felt like I would be insulting you if I told you, "Look out, there might be mud."
Just bad luck. And I'm going to start prestidigitating all of that nastiness, like
Mhm.
just.
Well,
It actually
that's
takes a while, and you are in a place where it's just the assault is almost constant. But
You said like the top half, like the
sure.
like half the face,
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, I
right.
think they're going to try to use mold earth to do something similar because it happens to be slightly
Hmm.
earthy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Says, well,
I mean, mold
we
earth and shape water.
Uh, we are in traditionally one of the more hospitable areas of the plain, in that there is living things that grow here. There are friendly settlements nearby, but that should not be meant to be taken to understand that there are no dangers in the area. However, you are capable adventurers, or else I would not have approached you with this challenge. I had not thought to even ask until I saw how you dispatched the the fiendish adversaries that you fought on Mount Celestia.
Solid ground seems to be an easier place to fight from.
Well,
True.
I'm afraid that you will find that that is in relatively short supply around these parts.
Noted.
So, we do not have too very far to go, but we must travel some ways. There is a settlement nearby that has what they call the Fount, but it is simple folklore, their misunderstanding of what they truly have, which is a portal to the realm within the plane known as the Oubliette, and that is our destination.
Well,
Oubliette.
how much solid ground between here and there, or should we try to make sure we can?
He gestures at the half rotten boardwalk that you see about 40 feet away.
Buster would be maybe a better chance of not. We did get the
Did we get the?
You did not get the horseshoes.
We did not get the. Yeah, okay, sorry. I know we were talking about it super time.
right. Okay.
I put Nedry on my shoulder.
Well, you're also
Yes.
subject to
Yeah.
just sinking.
Certainly,
So
you are all. It is all difficult terrain here as you're kind of like trudging through.
we could just like have one person walking and the rest of us go in the tower. Just saying.
That's true.
Or fly. It's
Or
an option.
fly.
Yes, I can do that too.
Although it's briefer in my case.
Well, It
How
five.
about someone flies and everybody else goes in the tower?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
Standard warning signals, right?
I stretch out my wings and just point at them, but sure, I'll go in the tower. Um,
To fly, I'm not going to say no. It
Mm,
takes more
well, I
effort for me to
mean,
fly.
yeah, it's
yeah, I
I'd only
know.
get like 10
I
minutes of
mean,
it, but
ah, I obviously, as you can see, am able to fly under my own power. If you wish, I could carry this tower that you describe. That is, if you trust me.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, we are going after something he wants,
Mm-hmm.
but we also don't have the protection of the contract, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 15.
Right now, you have no reason to believe that he has any motive to like lead you into a trap or something. He's hired you for a job. He's not trying to trick you right now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
What do I do if there's a problem or to tell you, let you know when we have arrived?
You can just
just
knock on the door.
knock on the door.
Um, uh, the door. Are you
I
like
pull out the
showing him the
tower.
towers? Like,
Yeah, I
oh
pull out
my,
the tower.
what a clever, device. Very well. So I just carry it and then I will, what, knock like tunk 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 like that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And what will happen when I do that?
We'll hear it.
Okay.
We'll come out. We'll join you.
We'll come out and join you.
All right. So you just all bundled into the tower?
Yep.
Sure, let's
chance
make
to-
things interesting.
All right.
Yep.
I think Buster is fascinated by the way you all smell. I think that he is like really intent on like sniffing all of you wherever the mud is on you. I think where you've left muddy footprints on the floor coming in, he is like rolling on it. But yeah, so you go in and what are you doing to pass the time?
I'm
Cleaning the mud off.
I'm touching my new talisman. Just
Mm-hmm.
fascinated by its existence.
Mm-hmm. I think that it really is something striking. You know what I mean? Like it feels, certainly like the time that you spent with Solomonia, there is a sincere power radiating there. And for you who have some reasons to feel otherwise, you don't necessarily get this just benevolent vibe completely from her. Like it's sort of a mixed thing, but like this talisman feels somehow like it's even above all of that. Like it's just somehow pure in a way that maybe a mortal creature with sentience and a mind and thoughts and feelings could never be. And I think that without wanting to tell you how your character feels, I can imagine that it would give off just sort of an aura that if you were susceptible to it, it just sort of makes you sort of inspired to try to be worthy of it.
Would I like, because I feel this and I sense like how pure and
Mm-hmm.
good this is, does it make me think about Solomonia differently, like kind of seeing cracks in her veneer?
I think it's almost the contrary, where you recognize that perhaps the way that you've all been thinking of her is I don't want to say judgmental exactly, 'cause it is kind of that, but the point just being it's a reflection that good can be lots of different things. Good can be subjective and it can look a lot of different ways, and that because there are things that you disagree with her on and you don't always understand her motivations, it makes you wonder if perhaps you have been using those things to come to a conclusion that somehow those differences of opinion or perspective make her less good instead of just coming from a different perspective.
I feel enlightened, you guys. Like, I'm for real right now.
Um, it actually make a religion check.
'23.
23. That's pretty good. I think what you sort of reflect on and what you've been maybe thinking on since you got the amulet and started just thinking about all of this is that I think maybe the assumption that her being an archfey who is not necessarily of a lawful good alignment before, taking over this plane of lawful good would automatically mean that she would distort that plane to her own ends. You think that it's maybe much more the reverse than she even realized.
That being there kind of changed her
Yeah,
overall. Interesting.
yeah. So that does not necessarily mean she is always going to do what you think is good,
Right.
but it does perhaps mean that the assumption that there must be like sinister ulterior motives, maybe that's really just not true anymore. You don't
Maybe
know
we
that for
were
a fact, but it certainly gives you that perspective that may well be true.
so we were basically influenced by Lynn's stories
Mhm.
of the evil things that she once
Well,
did.
and the thing is, it's not obvious. I mean, it's certainly like it's just like, but it's it's. I think it's just one of those things where perhaps she instead of changing what lawful good is, lawful good changed what she was.
Interesting.
But there's it's also maybe a little bit messier than that. But in any case, yeah. So I think as you're kind of just in there, did anyone else have other stuff that you're kind of you don't know how long it's going to be?
Probably updating journal rather than wanting to study the book. Doesn't have time to study the book.
I'm gonna run through basic command training with Buster.
Okay. Um, so it's only been about 20 minutes when you get a knock, the knock.
I'll open the door.
So like I think we've been sort of treating it as when the tower is small, you don't really like open it like a regular door and then you can just see out of it, right? It's more like it's more like a portal, like you go through it
Pop
rather
out.
than just
Yep.
like open it and look out, right?
Yep.
So you pop out, any just you or anyone
Yeah.
else or
I'm with.
Cautiously.
all
Yeah.
right. I think that what you come out and you see that Icarus has got he's sort of hiding in a bush and he's got the tower and he says, there's a problem.
Okay, what's up?
Okay.
And I think, but so who all has come out? Is it just Saline right now or okay?
Mm.
All right. Well, everyone's popped out then. So I think as everyone pops out and kind of like sports into the mud there, um, before he can answer your question, the question is answered by the roar of an enormous creature overhead, and as you look up, you see buzzing over the treetops is what looks to be an adult black dragon.
Oh,
Awesome.
lovely. I love it.
And he says, it definitely spotted me flying, and I believe it's looking for me now. I think he's probably finding us. I can't imagine that he can't find us. This is his home turf. So the fact that he hasn't actually swooped down and attacked yet makes me think he's planning something else. So I thought I ought to let you know.
All right.
All right.
I have some fighting capability of myself, but I would prefer not to take on an adult black dragon all by
Does-
myself.
Do they have the item?
The dragon? No.
Right. Okay.
The dragon is not part of the plan. I have no
Insight
idea why
check.
there's a dragon here. Oh, yeah? Oh, you can make an insight check.
Because that's kind of,
Hmm?
now that Nedry said that, I'm like suspicious.
Yeah,
I'm always suspicious.
sure. I mean, it's this guy, you know he is a fiend. So
15.
I think your best guess right now is that he is genuinely irritated and a little bit rattled that there's a black dragon attacking. Or maybe attacking.
Maybe we can
Okay.
sneak by.
No, it definitely already spotted me, so at minimum it knows that I'm in the area.
So invisibility wouldn't be helpful.
Well,
Probably not.
dragons do have remarkable senses, so I
We
think
should
that
spread out.
Yes, that's perhaps a good idea. So, I think that, and at this point, you hear once again this draconic cry, and the sound is whoo, 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 the wings flapping, and you hear a voice just say, "Travelers in my swamp, you have incurred my wrath, and now you shall do battle for my amusement."
With what? With who?
And then you look up, and it swoops up, and you see at first a sort of a strange sight, because it looks like you're seeing the underside of this black dragon, but it looks like where his feet would be, he has just these like sort of weird like blobby growths. But then what you realize is in each of his four legs, he is holding a large blob of something, which he is now then dropping on top of you, and we're going to roll initiative.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, is Buster coming out as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me put you all on the initiative tracker, and we've got a map. Let me put you on the map. There you are. Okay. And so, are you all seeing the map?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And put them on the token layer. Okay. So, dragon flying overhead. These 5 oozes have just been dropping out of the sky. I think we're going to do initiative, but I think also the first thing that'll probably happen before anyone's turn is that I want Nedry, Lynn, just all of you make a dexterity check. Make one for Buster as well.
I got 19.
25.
Okay.
17.
Buster got a 17.
Wow. So all of you managed to duck out of the way and not have one of these blobs fall right on top of you. So let me. Yeah.
There's 5 of them.
Yep. It turns out that one of his feet had two of them.
Oh, I thought maybe he had like a fifth arm or something.
Well, you know what? You never know. But
Look at his tail or something.
yeah, he just he was able to hold two in one hand. Um, and so let's have this guy roll for initiative. Is it not? Oh, I don't. Okay. Okay, that's gonna be a 2 for the ochre jelly. You know what? Hang on. Get the turn tracker up would help. Okay. Sorry, I could have actually prepared for this a little better to have all of this more ready to go. Okay. All right. All right. So I think I ended up with might get some doubles on there. Does everyone see themselves on the tracker?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good deal. So now get your initiative into there. And then we'll figure this out. And he's gotta have okay. 10 for him. Type. And then
Buster's initiative.
you do need that.
Yep. I don't appear to have. Oh, yes, I do. Here we go.
Just want to remind folks about the Heroes Feast stuff.
Mm-hmm. Good to know that.
So, immune to poison and being frightened, and wisdom has advantage.
Resistance to poison damage, but immunity to poison condition.
Creature.
So you can still be hurt by it, but you can't get permanent poison.
All right. So, Nindri, you are first up. Oh, you know what? Let me switch to our battle map layout here. Oh, that's not the one on the stream. But you guys, where is it? Okay, for Pete's sake. Why is it? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm fussing with this. You guys, what are you doing? Nedry, you're up.
Okay. Since we're all clustered close together, he will reach out and tag Zaylene and Lynn. I know that Lynn has her own ability to do this, but it saves time. And we'll cast a 5th level fly on the 3 of us. So we all have fly. And then proceed to fly. Get the hell out of there.
Okay.
Probably will incur at least one attack of opportunity from the one that's nearby, but otherwise trying to kind of thread the.
Yeah. So I think as you move, you are gonna take a pseudopod attack roll of opportunity, which is
Yeah.
gonna be 18 to hit.
18 shield,
Okay.
and then the other glowing field around him also goes off as his ward comes up.
Okay.
Shield makes it 20 AC.
All right. Because we've got many flying creatures
Oh.
in this. What?
Sorry, can I do that? It's still my round. I cast a spell. I can't cast another spell.
Well, you use your reaction to do the shield, so your reaction is spent. But yes,
Okay.
yeah, because it's your reaction. It's not as an action or bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so but because we've got many flying creatures in this combat, we're going to need to track elevation. So for when you click your token, put your height in feet in the green circle.
Okay. Is the total travel going to be the height plus the distance that we want to do it?
just think of it the same way you do it two-dimensionally. Just apply it like upward. So like obviously, if you were going straight up in the same square, you would just track it that many feet. Otherwise, it's like just do it like you do it two-dimensional. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
So he'll only go there, and then I'll put. Which one did you want? Blue? Does it matter?
I said it doesn't really matter. I was just using green, but that's fine.
So he'll go up over 20, over 40, and up 20.
Okay. All right.
And that is the end of his turn.
Okay. And it is now the dragon's turn. And he sees you fly up above the I think you're just about at the top of the tree, the trees, at that height. And he sees you flying up, and it just says, "Oh, no, 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 not leaving so soon." And he is going to fly over, and I think, yeah, he's just going to attack you with his. He's going to make his rend attack, but what he's actually trying to do is like shove you, like push you back down. So he is.
So it's a shove attack, basically.
Yeah, but I think that he's. Because of, there's not really a mechanic for this. You know what? I think what he's going to do is he's going to grapple you and then land with you, is what he's going to do. So he is making an athletics check, basically, and you can make your acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to not go in my favor.
Okay.
Well, an 18, that's better than I
Well,
expected.
yeah, he did get a
32?
21.
Okay.
It's not showing my. Let me make sure I've got my extension going. Yeah, so it doesn't look like the new stat blocks are showing the rolls in the way that you did with the Beyond 20. That's maybe too new for the extension. That's fine. But in any case, yeah, so he grapples you, and he's going to sort of fly with you back down to the ground, like pinning you, like right there. So that does mean that he is now on the ground with you.
Okay.
And then I think that is just one attack with his movement, and so he is going to now make 2 more rend attacks against you. That is a 17 to hit.
He has advantage because I'm grappled, but I do still have the shield.
Just being grappled doesn't give him advantage, but I think he's probably got you prone though, so that would give advantage.
Yep.
So good point. So that's a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That's going to be 11 slashing damage plus 7 acid damage, but
And the acid is halved,
Yep.
so 13.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, his shield takes the whole thing, or his
Okay.
ward takes the whole thing.
All right, and then he actually gets a natural 1 on that last attempt, but I think as he sees his attack being sort of taken up by his shield, it just says, "Oh, you're a tricksy one."
Yep.
All right, that was his 3 attacks. That is the end of his turn here. Yeah. So it is now Buster's turn. You're muted, Paul, if you're saying anything.
Big scary monster. Buster moves up, and he is going to go for his triple attack. First, the bite. He got a 21 to hit.
Okay, 21 will hit.
Okay, so that's 9 piercing damage.
Okay.
And that was the bite. Um, if target is medium or smaller,
He's
it
not
must.
medium or smaller.
Okay. And then claw number 1,
Okay. This dragon
24
is
to hit.
huge. Yep.
That'll do 23 points of damage.
No, that's if it was knocked prone.
Oh.
So 7.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, the
Yep.
23 is if it was, yeah, it's doing the extra bludgeoning because you, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And claw number 2. Oh, just rolled past natural 20. 16.
Okay. 16 does not hit. That one is, glanced off of the scaly armor here. I think that at the end of Buster's turn, the dragon is going to use a legendary action. Um, let's see. I think the legendary action here is actually just going to be it's using its spell casting to cast the fear spell, which I think most of you are going to be immune to fear because of the Hero's Feast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Buster is going to need to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. He got a 9.
Okay, so that means that for the moment he has the frightened condition, and so when it's his turn, while he's frightened, he's going to have to take the dash action to move away from the dragon. But that was just a legendary action reaction, after Buster's turn. So Zinhorn, it is your turn now.
Let's have fun. I am going to expend all of my movement and do Boon of the Juggernaut.
Okay.
30 feet and try and knock.
I mean, you can't move there. That's his. Oh, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah, because you're doing the Juggernaut thing, right? So
Yep.
what's the language of that boon again?
Once per day, you can use your action to take an empowered dash, which must be at least 30 feet in a straight line. During this burst, you can pass through spaces of enemy creatures without taking opportunity attacks, and all enemy creatures that you pass through must succeed on a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, or be either knocked prone or pushed 10 feet. And I want to knock him prone.
Okay. Well, he did get the save, so I think that probably means it stops you. I mean,
Well, no.
Cause
So he get. Oh no. So
what happens if he does make the save? He got a natural 20.
I think he gets not pushed back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Well, it saving throw or be either knocked prone or it's so then it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I would like I go past him. It doesn't say what happens if it doesn't work.
I think the only thing that makes sense is that you'd be stopped, but we'll just say he kind of moves over to the side.
Okay. So that was my action.
Okay.
My bonus action is to cast spiritual weapon. Give me 1 sec. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do it at third level or fourth level.
Why does it do that?
I think fourth level.
Okay. I mean, you just decide.
Yep, fourth level. I got a 16, which will not hit.
No. Put it where you like.
All right.
All right.
That was worth a shot.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. I think that as you as you do that, he's going to use another legendary action to. Theoretically, he could move also while he does this, but he's not going to. He's just going to attack you, Rend. Attack. That's just cocked. That is going to be 24 to hit for 9 slashing damage plus 5 acid damage.
That's on me.
Yep.
That's 14.
Okay. Yep. And so that makes it now Akarix's turn. Let's see. What does he do? What does he do? I think that he is going to. He's going to sort of hover over to here a little bit, and then he is going to use hypnotic gaze on the dragon, which will require the dragon to make a wisdom saving throw. Which would be he got a 15, which would not be enough, but he's going to use a legendary resistance to save anyway. And Akarix is like, darn, I was hoping that would work. And he's going to go over and kind of like he's taking half cover behind some of the tree branches here. Carolina, your turn.
I'm not used to having options. Okay. I don't like where we're standing, Zaleen, so I'm gonna take your hand and I'm gonna use Dimension Door.
You do also both still have flight.
So I can't tell from the description, does Dimension Door provoke an opportunity attack? It doesn't say.
It does not.
It does not. Okay.
Mhm. But it's also
So
a 5th level spell, so it's just kind of like, I mean, do what you want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's 4th level, but yeah.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
going to use Dimension Door, and I'm gonna put us. Nope. We're gonna go. Let's see. Let's see. All of this wood stuff. That's the boardwalk, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Everything off of the boardwalk would be difficult terrain if you weren't also flying.
Yeah. Gonna go for. Yeah, I think there.
Okay.
So I'll grab Zaleen and we'll poof up there.
All right. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope. That's
Okay.
it for right now.
All right. Zaleen, your turn.
I am going to attempt to cast Banishment on the dragon.
Okay.
So that's a Charisma 19.
Yeah, let me just double check something too here, because new banishment has some different rules that could apply here. Okay. All right. Well, so it makes a charisma saving throw.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Dragons not traditionally low charisma dudes or ladies. That's going to be a dirty 20, I'm afraid.
Okay.
And he says, "Ah, You seek to banish me from my own domain? Fools! You shall see my wrath bestowed upon you. Beg for your lives, and I may show mercy. All right. It is anything else for your turn? Okay. It is the ochre jelly's turn now. Obviously, like this one is sort of slurping its way up to try to attack your guy here, and it's climbing up the tree. It gets a 14, which misses. The other ones here, slurp. 10, 20, 20. So I think two of them are attacking Buster. And that's going to be a 12 to hit and a 6 to hit. And then two attacking Nedry. Wow, a crit. And 17.
Okay, the shield's still up, so the 17 doesn't hit.
Okay,
The,
so the crit is going to do... it's going to do 20 acid damage, which for you is halved because of your
Boost to 10.
ring.
The shield or the ward is still up, amazingly enough. So
Sure. Okay, and then we're back at the top of initiative. It is your turn.
Okay. Don't like this. Don't like the position. Don't like any of this. Nobody should hold me.
so he will Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
Way about over, let's say about there, and then move up 10 feet. So it's just kind of hovering above the ground. Let's see. What do we got in range? Oh, there's lots more in range now. That's interesting. I think he's going to... yeah. Let's twin a ray of frost so I can hit the dragon and just say the one that was kind of slurping him, that one.
Okay.
I just gotta double check on how many points that costs. I think for twinned, it's only one.
While
Yeah.
he's doing that, did Buster get frightened?
Yes.
Would Paul, do you think Buster would have partaken of the hero's feast?
I kind of thought he would have.
Then he
Okay.
would have been
Well,
immune.
so I was assuming he was not because you didn't say, and it's not obvious to me that he would. But I guess I will allow it because I'm nice.
Then he would have been immune.
Okay,
That's
fine.
that's
So
why I was asking. 'Cause
nothing
I
has
didn't
happened
know.
yet for that anyway. So fine. He's not feared.
Okay.
Right.
So against the dragon, 12 to hit.
Okay.
Probably
No.
doesn't hit. No, I don't think I can do much against that. And for the ooze, 18 to hit.
Okay, that certainly does hit.
So 14 cold damage, and it's slowed by 10.
All
Which
right.
might be enough to slow it forever. And then, yeah, move. Let's see. Do. Just get the hell away from him. So I'll move that, and then move. Sorry, I'll move a little bit less so I can move a little bit higher. So now he's 20 feet up and that far away.
Okay. It is the dragon's turn. Let's see. Yeah. He is going to fly up and away, which will give Zinhorn and Buster opportunity attacks.
Okay. That's with my 9 lives sword.
Mm-hmm.
I roll a 21.
21 does hit.
Okay.
Okay. So you're getting the 11 one-handed damage because you're using a
Yeah.
shield, plus the 9 blessed strike. So that's 20.
Okay.
Okay.
And Buster is going to go for the bite. And he's going to get a 13, which will miss.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that he is gonna. He has 80 feet fly. So he is basically.
Minus 10 for being slowed, right?
Why is he slow?
I didn't hit him.
Oh, you didn't hit him.
I hit the ooze.
Sorry.
The 5-foot line is hard. I'm trying to figure out how that needs to. Like, I think that he's basically lining himself up because it's not a cone, it's the line. But I think, I think he can get not all 3 of you, like Nedry, Carolina, and how are you doing that one?
Choose beam instead of line under the measure tool.
Oh, look at that. Good deal. So, let's see. He can move wherever he wants, though. So, let's see. What if he's here? Yeah, okay. So, he can't get 4 of you, but he can get, like, 3. I think, so I think, and he's high enough that he's sort of aiming down, so it wouldn't go past where Carolina and Zaleen are anyway. But the 3 of you, Nedry, Carolina, and Zaleen, need to make dexterity saving throws for his acid breath as he sprays a concentrated steam of acid at you.
Dexterity, huh? All right. 14.
22.
22 will save. Zaleen? Oh, I see it. Okay, I see it. So Carolina saves. Is going to take half of 52 acid damage. Yeah, so that's 26 for you, Nedry, because you are reducing it from your ring. But that's 52 acid damage for Zaleen, 26 for Carolina.
Made the concentration save. Still flying.
All right, good. Okay, so that is his turn. Buster, it's your Buster's turn. Not feared, but also not now in the melee with the dragon.
Okay. Buster is going to attack the ooze to the south.
Okay.
He got a 17.
17 definitely hits.
Okay. Can it
14.
actually go prone?
No. Well, hang on. Yes, it is immune to prone. So,
Okay.
like, because
Happens to
he
look
basically
exactly the
goes
same
to
as normal.
like yank it with his jaws like his normal thing, and it just sort of like slurps, deforms in its shape. So,
Yeah.
but it does take the 14 piercing damage.
Okay. And the first claw gets 16.
Also is going to hit. But once he does that damage, it does take that damage. But when he claws at it with the slashing claws,
Yeah.
it splits into 2 smaller ones.
All right.
And so it's now split into 2, each of them with, half the size and half the
Okay.
hit points. But yeah, so now there's 2 of them.
Okay. He's going to use his last claw on the one to the southwest of him.
Okay.
And that'll hit. That's a 23.
Yeah, and that one, that's going to take it out. So that one's destroyed.
Okay.
All right. So that's Buster's turn. Your turn, Zinhorn.
Okay. I am going to use my. So, hold on. So, if I do lightning breath, I can get these 3, but I would also get him.
Well, unless you move.
Okay. So I move over here, and then I can get these 2. Can I get 3? No, I can only get these 2.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to get those 2 with lightning breath.
Okay.
They have to roll a Dex 16.
They're probably not going to succeed on that, but I'll go ahead and roll it to see. That's a 7 for one, and wow, that one got a natural 20, so it technically did save. So
Okay.
yeah, so I
well,
think the top one failed and the bottom one. So the top one's going to take 22 lightning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And as it takes that lightning damage, you see that seems to have, created a reaction within its strange, goopy flesh, and it splits also.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
the other one saves, but still takes half.
Yeah, it takes 11.
Right. Okay. So that one takes 11 and also splits. Okay. All right. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
No, I have my spiritual weapon, which was at 4th level, which is going to get the one right next to it. And it's a 24.
Yeah, that'll hit. Yeah.
21 points of damage.
That one is splatted into oblivion. I'm going to switch
All
out
right.
with that one with the other one because it's that's the one on the tracker. But yeah. Splat.
Okay.
All right.
And while I'm at it, I'm going to move the spiritual weapon over here so it's a little bit closer for next round.
Gotcha. Okay, now with the legendary action after your turn, Vertigo, the dragon points one of its clawed hands at you and whispers some sort of arcane incantation under its breath.
Is it casting a spell?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Well, hang on. So technically, okay. It can cast spells, but in this case, this thing is actually not a spell. So I didn't want to so
Counterspell count still 0.
yeah, unfortunately, this one is not a spell. So I'm sorry. But if it can cast spells, and if it was a spell, I would give it to you. I'm not trying to cheat that, but
No, it's remarkable that I don't think I've actually used that once.
yeah. But it's conjuring a cloud of insects suddenly is swarming up out of the swamp, swarming around you, and you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Probably not. 11.
11. So that is going to fail, and you're going to take 20 poison damage, and
Okay.
you have disadvantage on saving throws to maintain concentration until the end of your next turn.
Well, it's reduced to 10 because he's resistant at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. But disadvantage on a concentration check, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Still made an 11. Or still made a 13, actually.
Yeah.
So.
So that's
Oh,
still
it's, yeah.
maintained
roll
for
that.
now, but that's going to apply until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Okay. That makes it Akarex's turn. He is going to. Let's see. He's got a whip that he draws that sort of. It's like none of you have seen him draw this before. It comes out of nowhere. Like he just suddenly is holding up his hand and there's this glowing red barbed whip that looks like it's made out of some sort of molten liquid metal. And he is going to attack the blob with that. And that's a pretty bad roll, but it still hits a blob. And it's going to do. That's pretty good. Makes up for the low attack roll. Yeah, it's going to do 28 force damage. And it makes you watch as when he hits it with the whip, it's parts of it are just blasted away, but then also the whole blob just suddenly disappears from where it was and appears 10 feet further away in the out of the tree, at which point it falls and splats to the ground. Which it'll take another d6 for falling. Yeah, another 3. And yeah. And he actually has another one of those that he's going to do from where he is. That's also going to hit for for 24. And yeah, he destroys it with his second whip attack. With another legendary action, the dragon is going to pounce on you, Nedry. It moves up to half of its speed and is going to make a rend attack. That is going to be 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be 14 slashing damage plus. Well, it would have been 1 acid damage, but you won't take any for that. But so that's
Okay.
that's I said 14 plus, yeah, so just 14 slashing damage.
Okay. And he falls. And so
Okay.
there's Lynn and Zaleen.
I think they were still on the ground more or less, but
Okay.
Yeah.
but now no longer have the option. Okay.
So what's that, 2d6?
Oh, yeah, probably. And you know what? How about this? You can make a dexterity saving throw. And if you succeed, then you fall and you are not going to take that 2d6, but you are going to land prone in the mud again.
I mean,
And if you
I'll-
fail the saving throw, the dragon catches you.
I mean, the dragon catches me.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.
All right. Yeah. So as you start to fall, he reaches out and just sort of seizes you by the leg. So
I
he's
don't
got you
know
grappled
if
in the air.
you're. I'm not looking for a mate.
And I think he curls his head down at you, and you feel just the air as the wings are beating, and he just says, "I am, but you wouldn't be my type."
That's just insulting.
Okay, Carolina.
All right, we're gonna try something.
Mm-hmm.
Probably won't work, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna cast Otto's Irresistible Dance
Okay.
on the dragon.
Yeah. I mean, Why wouldn't that work? That's kind of the nature of that spell. It just works, right?
Let me make sure. Oh, I'm gonna move up 5 feet first.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cast it.
All right. Um,
There, maybe?
yeah. So I think,
Nope.
yeah. Well, I think you have enough movement that you can get
Yeah.
there. So I think
more.
as it's, do you have in mind a particular kind of dance you think this dragon would do? He's currently flying to. Actually, does this say that forces him to go to the ground? I don't know if
Let's
it.
see.
I think he would have a
Um,
hard time flying
The target begins a comic dance in place.
in place. Huh.
So I don't know.
Well,
It
he
must
can't.
use all its movement to dance without leaving its space.
Yeah. I'm going to rule that he doesn't fall out of control, but I don't think he can't hover. So he can hover only by like consciously like flapping. And so I think that he will sort of like starts to do this dance. Like he's got Nedry in his clawed hand and he's doing the disco point, just like whoop, 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 whoop. What?
That
What
is
is
very
this?
disorienting.
What is this? Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Nedry.
Yeah. So he
I
can't.
thought maybe
can't
he would
even use
drop Nedry, but okay.
Yeah. It does. I mean, it doesn't say it breaks
Still
his
funny.
grapple. He uses his movement, right? Still has.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So I think he's definitely affected by that. He can't use legendary resistance yet to try to beat it, right? Until his turn.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's not until his turn.
All right. Zaleen, it would be your turn.
I would like to try to Eldritch Blast him to see if I can get him to drop Nedry.
Okay. Does your Eldritch Blast have that sort of effect generally at all, or? I mean,
No.
you. I mean, if you like, you can attack and then yell at him to drop Nedry, but I don't know that you can force him to drop Nedry unless your Eldritch Blast has some other effect other than damage.
Yeah, I was hoping that if I just blasted him like 3 times, but
I think you can't force him to drop Nedry. You just don't
Okay.
have that effect.
Hold,
But
holding Nedry is not a concentration spell.
yeah,
yeah,
I see.
but like, you could try to persuade him.
My
Like
my character sheet is messed up.
Mm.
Yeah, like last week it put fortify, power word fortify on there 4 times. This week Eldritch Blast is not in my cantrips.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not asking for advice.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like it's not there. So I'm actually gonna try to cast banishment again.
Okay.
To see if that works.
Well, that's going to be another charisma save.
Yep.
That would be a 14 on the roll, but he is going to use another legendary resistance.
Okay.
Okay. But he's used a couple of those, and I think with this dancing, he's taken a couple of hits, and he doesn't like being forced to do something with a spell like this. I think you're getting a little bit of a vibe of like you guys are a little bit more than he thought he was taking on, but it is. Gosh, that I need to. Like, how does Otto's irresistible dance work in correlation with legendary actions? Can he still do them? Let's see. He has the charmed condition. He's dancing comically. Must use all its movement. So I would say if it wanted to do a legendary action, it would have to do something that doesn't require movement. So like it can't, if one of the legendary actions would be to move, it can't do that, is what I would rule. But it can do other ones. And I think that what he will do is he's going to use that cloud of insects thing that he did on Nedry. He's going to. Oh wait, nope, he can't. He can't do that again this round. He has to wait till the next turn. So, yeah. So no legendary action is really available to him at the moment. Um, actually, no. He can attack Nedry again with the rend. That's going to be a 26 to hit.
Yep.
For another 13 slashing damage and would be 1 acid damage, but you won't take that.
He also has disadvantage on those attack rolls. Just I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay, let me roll that again. That is, instead of a 26 or whatever I said, is only going to be a 17.
That's still more than enough.
Okay. All right, so that is the legendary action. It is now the Ochre Jelly's turn. I think 2 of these are going up to attack Zinhorn, and the other 3 are going to attack Buster. So first against Zinhorn, that's a natural 1. And then a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit.
Okay. And that's going to do... 15 acid damage. And then the 3 attacking Buster. 14, 22, 16. I think only the second one.
The 22 will
Yeah.
hit.
So that's going to be only 10 acid damage for Buster. There.
Okay.
And so that would take us to the next round of initiative, but I think we're at time, so perhaps we'll go ahead and leave things as a cliffhanger here. Unless you all like to kind of just try one more round. What do you think?
I mean, it's going to be a while before I can come back. So
Yeah. How does everyone feel?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm an hour behind all y'all, so I'm good.
Well, if we have unanimous consent to do another round?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just try to keep it moving, though. So Nedry, you are up. You are currently grappled, but it also looks like it's maybe having a hard time controlling itself right now. I'd say that you would have advantage if you wanted to try to break the grapple in the traditional way.
yeah, no. Okay. No, it's just going to be first quicken a spell, a cantrip, to then cast Thunderclap.
Ooh.
It's a Constitution saving throw, difficulty 17.
Okay. 17, you said?
Yep.
It got 17 exactly.
Okay, so they just a loud bang, and
Okay.
then it's followed by a second bang,
Oh.
as I then cast a Thunder Step.
Oh.
And that one is another Constitution 17 save.
All right. That one, it only got a
Actually,
16.
I'm gonna upcast that spell.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm gonna upcast that spell to 5th level.
All
Let's
right.
do that.
Nice.
So that makes it 5d10 damage.
Ooh. Yeah, I think it doesn't use the legendary resistance this time. It only has 1 left.
Okay, let's get the damage. No,
Yeah.
it's not showing me a thing. Okay, well, I'll just do that. See if that does it. There it goes. So 23 thunder.
Okay.
And then he will vanish and reappear. Let's see. How far can I get? Well, let's see. I believe there is a bit of road. Yeah, right there. Whoops, that's the... I hit measure, my mistake. 90 feet away. And there you go. Zoop.
Alright. Fun. Okay.
And then he'll use half his movement to stand up, because he was still kind of in the prone position.
Right. Okay. I think at the end of your turn, it is his turn. First, I'm going to roll a d6. And that's a 1, so he does not get his acid breath back. And I think uh, it's his, the dancing, let's see, has to use all of his movement, so he can't move. And he doesn't have the, you know what he does is, he does at this time start to cast a spell. I'm just trying to make sure that, yeah, on each of
Well,
its turns. Oh,
he's-
wait. No, on each of its turns, it can take an action to collect itself. I think that is what it wants to do. He wants to.
Right.
He doesn't want to keep dancing like this. So at this time, he's making what? Is it? Is it charisma?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
18.
I notice it says repeat the save, but wait a minute. This I'm looking at the spell now, and it actually says it has to make a wisdom saving throw at the beginning. It doesn't have the automatic anymore. Is this the new version? I guess doesn't auto succeed on the first time.
That's yeah. I'm not seeing that on mine, so I don't.
Well, I'm
maybe I
looking
have
at the
older version?
2024 version. Maybe yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, let's if you're using the older version, let's
well, it doesn't get to make a save until its turn. So
right. I know, but I think the new version, it makes the save when you cast it. Unlike the old version, which it just works right away until its turn. But since that's what you were using, we'll use that still. So while it's affected by the spell, as an action, it can make a wisdom saving throw. So that is what it's going to try to do as its action here. And that would be a 15, which I think is probably not enough, but it is going to use its last legendary resistance to succeed anyway. And at this time, without its acid breath having used its action, and it doesn't want to deal with that high level magic anymore, it is going to start flying away to the north, and it's just it's yelling back at all of you. Enjoy your time in the swamp. We'll meet again.
Won't you, my pretties? And
Yeah.
your little gray render too.
Yeah. I think
did anybody catch its name?
didn't give it.
It didn't throw it. How could I catch it?
Nope. So the dragon has withdrawn from the battlefield. You've got just the slimes left. So let's go ahead and deal with those. Buster's turn.
All right. Big scary monster. He's going after the big one.
Mm-hmm.
18 to hit.
Yeah.
11 points of damage. No
Mhm.
point in trying to knock it prone.
Yep.
27 to hit.
Yep. And we'll do the 14. And the slashing damage makes it split.
Okay.
So, 13. Okay. Woof, swoop. Think he has one more?
Yep. That'll hit.
Which one is he doing now?
The one to the south.
Okay. That one is destroyed. Wait, hang on. This one is? Yeah, it is destroyed.
Okay.
All right.
That's him.
Zinhorn's turn.
Zinhorn is going to cast Divine Word.
Okay.
Any creature that fails a charisma saving throw with a target of 18 has the effect based on the chart below. 0 to 20 hit points left, the target dies. 21 to 30, blinded, deafened, stunned for an hour.
What's the range?
30 feet.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's going to get all of them for sure then. So
Yep.
what was the hit point? They can't beat that save.
Okay. Any of them that have 20 hit points or less automatically die.
All of them except for one are immediately die.
Okay, and the one that's left is blinded, deafened, and stunned for an hour.
It is immune to blinded and deafened because it's not got eyes or ears.
Right, but it can
I guess
still be
it can
stunned.
still be stunned, and it only has one hit point anyway. So I think that Acarix just sort of hovers
I
down
still
from.
ha-
Oh yeah, go ahead. You can
I
do.
still have
Yep.
my
Yep.
spiritual hammer.
So roll with advantage.
I rolled a natural 20 without
Alright,
advantage.
Yeah. It's splatted to. Yeah. All right. So, congratulations. You have defeated the encounter. Welcome to the elemental plane of ooze.
I'm beginning to dislike
Gross,
this
I hate
place.
it.
Yeah. So I think we will have to, to leave it here for now and pick up with the pocket protectors in the future. We'll be probably doing something else next week because we'll be missing Mark, but we will figure it out. And in the meantime, we'll be back for more adventure on so many levels.
So many
So
So
many
many
oozes.
levels.